I'm Salida Bell and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a space, you've entered into a space where we grow, we develop, we progress, and we commit to doing that on a daily basis. Some of us, we're in a very good place because we've done a lot of work. And so we're learning to sustain and maintain and even be content. Today, I want to invite you into something very special. Every year, I do an assignment, and it's a letter that I write to myself. Now, for those of you who know me, you might know that I do not celebrate holidays, I don't participate, and I'm afraid to say this because I know everyone loves birthdays, but for my birthday, I do them a little bit different. I spend time with myself, reflecting, being grateful, giving God thanks. They're very quiet, and I love that. It's like the ultimate experience for me. I go inward and I really soak it up. I do it differently. I don't need the world of gifts. I personally believe that we shouldn't wait for one day of the year to have a special day. And today isn't my birthday, but I think this is very special. One, you've stumbled upon this video, or this video was shared with you, and you're being invited to participate in something that can change your life. And so every year I write myself a letter and I open it. I do it at the top of the year. So let me go back a little bit. I'm not big on celebrating holidays or birthdays. If the world is doing it, I want to do something different. But New Year's is very special to me for some reason. And it's not just the January New Year, it's New Year's across cultures. I think it brings something refreshing. It marks a new chapter, even the continuance of a chapter for some of us, right? And so I think the New Year's is very special. And so every year, usually I do this towards the end of the year or at the very top, I write a letter, and that letter is me really speaking into my life and partnering with God and what He has said about my life, and imagining what the next 12 months will look like, and just speaking to that. So I want to give you this assignment, and I'll tell you what that looks like. Over the years, me committing to this assignment, it has changed my life. One of the main reasons it has changed my life is because I have been forced to hold myself accountable. Knowing that there's this thing I wrote and I sealed the letter. So it's a letter, I'm asking you to write a letter to yourself. And I've sealed this letter, and there's a date that I will open it in the future, right? In the next 12 months. And you can start this anytime. It doesn't have to be January. It could be later on in the year, right? But it's a letter that you will open in a 12-month period. And if you feel you need to open it sooner, that's fine. You get to really create this, but you can model this assignment and make it yours. But I'm going to actually look at some notes that I have here to help you really conceptualize what this thing is that I'm inviting you into. It's really special, guys. So this assignment is all about accountability, self-love, being intentional. I called my recent letter to self the 12 months that changed my life. I went with the same title from the previous year because the last 12 months changed my life as well. And so here's how it works. You're gonna write a letter to yourself, right? A personal promise, really. And it's a vision. You're writing out the vision for the person you want to become over the next year. And this isn't just about goal setting, so I wanna make that clear. It's about stepping fully into the life you want. Now, don't mistake this with everything I imagined I will be in 12 months. This is not that. This is about the daily steps. If you saw my very first video, I talked about journey and what it means, right? A day's work. This assignment is also about accountability. As a therapist, naturally, the individuals I work with, even the families and couples, I hold them accountable to what they say they're going to do, right? But there's nothing more powerful than you holding yourself accountable. I think that's a powerful practice. And when I apply that practice to my life, it makes the world of difference for me. And so I want to invite you to practice holding yourself accountable. And one way we do that is through this. This is one way. There's so many ways to do it, but I really love the letter writing approach. And so this is about making choices that honor you and again, holding yourself accountable. So you're going to start by speaking to yourself with love, affirming who you are and who you are becoming. It's very important that you make this letter yours. Write about what matters to you. What are you hoping to work on over the next 12 months? Now, some people might write about, okay, in 12 months, I want to save this. They might have financial goals. Some people might have personal development goals. Some people might have professional developmental goals that they really want to get aggressive with this year. So write about what matters to you and consider where you are in your life right now. This letter might not look like someone else's letter. It shouldn't. This is your personal fingerprint. This is your story, and you're really getting in control of this narrative for your life and what it looks like over the next 12 months. I get it. Some of us like to let life unfold for us and just happen to us. And some of us, like myself, we prefer to be in control of that narrative. And I will go as far as saying partnering with God. So I want to invite you to be very specific, be intentional. What are you committing to over the next 12 months? And speak about the outcomes. So that letter might sound like, Dear Salida, I wrote this letter to you, to myself, 12 months ago, and you're opening it up now, and you'll be proud to find out that what you're stepping into is because of the work I'm promising to do over the next 12 months. It's more complex than I've made it seem so far in this video, right? Because you're speaking about your present and you're making a promise to your future self, and your future self is on the receiving end of this promise. So what are you committing to? Is this the year you're going to set boundaries? Is this the year you stand up for yourself? Is this the year you go back to school? Is this the year you start your company? Some of you, before you write this letter, if you will accept the invitation to this assignment, before you write your letter, you might want to spend some time in prayer and fasting, or just really giving some thought to, she said I can be in control of my narrative. So what do I want that narrative to sound like, right? So you might need some time to think it through. Not because we're in January doesn't mean that you have to write your letter today. The sooner the better, but you might need some time to really think about, because you're holding yourself accountable. And it's one thing to let someone else down, but to let yourself down is another thing. And so I want you to give this some thought and think about if you're going to accept this invitation, think about what you're going to commit to, and be gentle. Don't overwhelm yourself. So I'm getting ready to close out. One more thing though, I want you to keep in mind if you're going to take on this invitation. I want to challenge you to also write this letter using your hands with pen and paper. I know we're used to all of this technology. I even have the remarkable tablet that's used for writing only, so it's not a normal tablet. And we're gonna have to put this on paper so we can put it in an envelope. We don't want to type it up. As a matter of fact, research tells us that there's something that happens when we handwrite things. It does something to the brain. It activates that part of our brain that deals with memory. All right, guys, well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for how your life is about to change over the next 12 months. I'm especially excited because you're gonna take daily steps to get to that point. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you know of someone who might benefit from this assignment, I encourage you to share it with them. And take care until next time. One more thing before we close this out. Don't leave the room yet, come back in. I just want to clarify something. Birthdays, you heard what I said earlier about birthdays. Now, it's not so much that I don't celebrate it. I don't celebrate it the way the world does. I don't have to be loud about it. I don't have to be announcing. I don't have to post reminders about it. I don't get mad if someone forgets it. I personally have a hard time remembering other people's birthdays too. So it's not that it's not a big deal. It's that it's something special to me. And I am very intentional about what I do that day, who I spend it with. It's usually someone special or one or two people who are really special, who really understand me and share similar values.